Since we were engaged for 2 months, when we went out to dinner, Mehdi would drink raki and give it to me. I used to drink red wine at Miss Nermin's house once in a while, but I've never had raki before. I was having a glass of raki with him, but I never knew he was an alcoholic. My mind is in Farouk, but I drink raki with Mehdi. How stupid of me, isn't it?
I wouldn't call it stupid. Life draws you into the environment you used to be when you were a kid, and you go tiptoe, tiptoe.
Yes, I did just that. I know it from my father. I think Istanbul confused me. There, friends would all go to dinner some nights together. We would all have a lot of drinks as well. Farouk used to drink red wine with me once in a while. Apart from that, Farouk didn't drink.
What about your love for him?
Love had disappeared from my mind. I was going to betray my family by marrying Farouk. That's what it felt like. Miss Nermin warned me, but I didn't listen to her. My mother was already at home nagging me, telling me that if I go to anyone other than Mehdi, she wouldn't give me the right to go. Finally, we went to Malatya. Mehdi started compulsory service in the state hospital. So I started an internship at a law firm there. I got pregnant a few months later. Then I had a daughter. We can't make it to the end of the month financially. Mehdi often does not come home saying that he has a problem. I'm home with the kid. He never comes home sober, always drunk. I was so constricted at the hospital. We had a drink or two with friends when we got out, he says. By the time my daughter was a year old, I had finished my internship and was earning money, but my husband was no longer bringing home pennies. Every day he'd find an excuse, talk about debts he couldn't pay. At first, I thought he was sending the money he earned on his family in the village. After all, Mehdi was a child of a poor family. I do the same thing. And once I started making money, I sent money to my parents every month.
Were you happy then?
I was never happy after I left the Nermin's house. I left my happiness in that house. Then I learned that Mehdi was deceiving me, with a woman who's never been there.
What does the woman mean?
She was an ex-girlfriend of a doctor friend. Mehdi's friend broke up with her when she cheated on him with someone else. Even Mehdi told me to avoid a hassle. When Mehdi wanted to help reconcile them, a relationship started between her and Mehdi. Mehdi spent all his money on this girl. In fact, her ex-boyfriend threatened my husband, and all they knew was that. He also showed me pictures of the Mehdi with the girl at his throat. I went crazy when I saw them. When I came home, I put all of Mehdi's belongings in a garbage bag and put them at the door. While I was working from morning to night to earn our bread money, not spending any extra money, taking my child from the babysitter in the evening and dealing with her until the morning, my husband was enjoying himself with his other woman, who had no idea what the hand was. She was eating my child's alimony with her hands. I lost my decency at the time. I became someone else. The next day, Mehdi opened the door with his key and entered. I can't tell you how I attacked him. You'd think I'd been fighting it for years. I'm going to tear him apart. He said not to do it first. Then he beat me up. My mouth, my eye, it's all smashed up. I was covered in blood. And then he sat across from me and said, "Are you relieved?" You may be surprised, but yes, I am relieved. Unfortunately, it happened like that. My husband tended to my wounds or something, so I went to bed. The next day, I packed my things and went to Nermin Lady in Istanbul. Miss Nermin was surprised to see me in front of her. I'm holding my daughter. I'm in. I told her what happened to me. She didn't know what to say. I lay there for days. My parents on one hand, my husband, on the other hand, have never left us alone. But Miss Nermin has never left me. Sick, lying down, she'll call you when she gets better, she said, and hung up the phone. They took good care of my daughter and me, but she never kicked me out of bed again. I've been lying here for 3 months now. By the way, I've read your books, when they came. I said I wasn't alone in this life. Things happen to other people like me.
My books work in this sense. How's your daughter?
Thank you. Nermin Hanim and Ekrem Bey take care of her better than I do, but I am finished, Professor. I feel like a depth charge. The bed attracts me. I never leave room till tonight. I don't even want to see my daughter. These are the clothes I wear in Malatya, which my husband forced me to wear. I only took what my daughter needed. Now, I don't want to live anymore. Who can be good to a man who is not good to himself?
The depression is all over her. It's easy if she lets me. We can fix that depression in a few months, but I don't know if she'll ever forgive herself. Zeynep and I don't talk long that day. She's always telling me, I'm listening, before I get out of this depression. I don't know what to say. She won't get any of it. I'm giving her the pills. She leaves the room promising to take these regularly. Let's see if we can change the path of the destiny motif. Zeynep, are you determined to end your marriage?
The truth is that my parents sold me to Mehdi in exchange for a vineyard and some fields. Right after we got married, my parents emigrated to the village. We already had a dilapidated house there. They rebuilt it. Zrania, a vineyard and a garden. They live there now, and they are very happy with their life. My father doesn't drink like before, and my sister divorced her husband and moved in with them. When I woke up, I thought my parents would be very angry about this, but it turns out that our parents really want her to divorce. Now my sister has become the maid, her son has already grown up, and my mother lives in her corner and takes care of him until the evening. At the cafe, if you ask for money, they have a lot of income from the vineyards and fields in the village, and I used to send them too. You saw how they wasted me for their own gain, didn't you? I don't know if I was too naive or if they were too smart. I'm also angry at my own naivety. Well, I'm a lawyer. Let me come to my senses and see what I'm going to do to them. If they don't raise their voices and try to oppose it, they won't call me Zeynep. I woke up, that's right. Enough.
Yes, she finally woke up, and she's wide awake, so the depression has subsided, her self-confidence has returned. Let's see what she's going to do now. What are you going to do, Zeynep?
Mrs. Gülseren, I feel like I'm waking up from a long sleep. Now I have to build a new life for myself. I have started the divorce process. As you know, I am now living with Nurman Hanım with my daughter, and they are very happy that I am coming back. They are also very happy for my daughter. They treat me like their grandchildren. I will continue to live with them for a while. In the meantime, I am a very hard-working person, and I will continue my life where I left it. I want to erase the year from my mind as if it never happened. But sometimes I am confused and afraid of making the same mistakes again. Don't do it. You will regret it later. Be smart. But what he said went in one ear and out the other. Will I be like this again? The worst thing is that I have a daughter now and I make the wrong decisions. It will make her life miserable too.
If you spend your energy getting angry at this or that, there will be nothing left, and that's how you become depressed. Now it's up to you to forgive life as soon as possible. We all make mistakes, leave them in the past. If you live with resentment and anger, life can't give you good things. This time, stop like that. Open your arms, embrace the world, and see what the world will give you. She stands up and hugs me tightly. There is hope, excitement, and joy in this hug. Now I trust her. I hope the path will be clear. It is especially girls who grow up in homes where there is a lot of fighting and noise, who are the troublemakers of mothers rather than their children. They always expect help and support from these children who witness their husband's injustice towards them because they see them as partners in their difficulties. I think that Zeynep's mother was happy at first that her daughter was living in a very good environment, but she felt lonely and unsupported in this house. This feeling gradually turned into a lack of love, into compassion and even hostility.